Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto Anna. This video will discuss Litecoin, one of the first cryptocurrency projects, which was founded in 2011. A project that continues to have a few $billion worth of market capitalization. Litecoin's capitalization of nearly $6 billion at the time this training was recorded places it in the top 20 cryptocurrency projects globally. Like many other blockchain projects, Litecoin was developed as an upgraded version of Bitcoin with the goal of addressing some of its drawbacks. Because of its unique qualities, Bitcoin has been marketed as digital gold from its birth. A few years later, a project that called itself the world's digital silver surfaced. Litecoin as a Bitcoin substitute. We have discussed the limits of Bitcoin that have sparked the development of various alternative projects thus far in this course. But today we will revisit some of them, especially the ones that inspired programmer Charlie Lee to create Litecoin. First and foremost, the speed of transactions. Because of its tendency to take 10 minutes or longer to create blocks, Bitcoin is not the best option for transactions that need to be completed quickly. Transaction fees are the second. Bitcoin transaction costs can rise dramatically during times of heavy network congestion, making it difficult to utilize for little transactions and micropayments. One such instance was when the Bitcoin ordinals, about which we discussed in the last lecture, became well known and momentarily choked the network. The cost of mining is another mentioned issue. Because Bitcoin uses the SHA-256 algorithm, specialized ASIC miners have becoming more and more prevalent. Ordinary users who wish to mine Bitcoin are disadvantaged by the centralization and hardware arms race, and are effectively shut out of the process. Former Google coder Charlie Lee hard-forked Bitcoin in order to address these problems and produce a lighter version of the cryptocurrency, which gave rise to the new Litecoin project. Lee aims to address the issues with the original cryptocurrency by developing a new one that serves as a store of value in addition to a payment method. Being a fork of Bitcoin, Litecoin uses the proof-of-work consensus method in addition to having its own blockchain. This indicates that in order to solve challenging mathematical riddles, miners on the network utilize strong computers. The first miner to solve the puzzle is granted the authority to verify the transactions and produce a new block. To make sure everything is accurate, other miners verify this effort. The new block is subsequently appended to the blockchain, and the procedure is then repeated for the subsequent block. Now let's examine how Litecoin responds to each of the concerns raised a minute ago, which helps to define how it differs from Bitcoin. In terms of transaction speed, Litecoin generates a new block every 2.5 minutes, as opposed to Bitcoin's 10 minutes. As a result, the system can handle more transactions every second. Similar to Bitcoin, the limited supply of Litecoin coins contributes to their scarcity as digital assets. Halving is a feature shared by both projects. Miners will eventually receive a reward that is halved. Compared to Bitcoin, which has a maximum supply of 21 million coins, Litecoin has a far larger total supply of 84 million coins. Even in the event of future price increases, this increased supply serves to establish Litecoin as a more transaction-friendly currency by increasing the availability of individual units and maybe making daily purchases easier. Compared to Bitcoin, Litecoin sometimes offers lower transaction fees. This is mostly because of a confluence of factors that underlie the points we made a minute ago. A longer total supply of coins, which lowers the likelihood of network congestion, and a faster time to construct a new block, which allows more transactions to be completed in a given time frame. It's crucial to remember that costs on both networks change based on demand in real time. Even the costs associated with Litecoin may rise momentarily during instances of significant usage. All things considered, the goal of Litecoin is to offer a quicker and more effective substitute for Bitcoin in everyday transactions while upholding the fundamentals of security and decentralization. Litecoin's halving. Let's talk briefly about Litecoin halving, a significant component of this project. The incentive that miners receive for appending new blocks to the blockchain is halved about every 4 years, or after 840,000 blocks. 3 halving later, the first compensation was 50 LTC per block. Presently, it is 6.25 LTC. Litecoin supply management is the primary goal of the halving. In contrast to conventional currencies, which central banks are free to create as much of as they choose, Litecoin's growth rate gradually decreases over time to avert inflation. The earnings of the miners are undoubtedly impacted by the drop in block reward. The second halving caused Litecoin's hash rate to drop dramatically, whereas the first halving only had a minor impact, briefly dropping the rate by 15%. This indicates that despite the difficulty of mining Litecoin did not drop to more bearable levels, miners started to migrate in large numbers to mining other cryptocurrencies following the second halving. Until the block reward is less than the smallest possible fraction of Litecoin minus 1/100th millionth. Litecoin will be halved about every 4 years. The reward for Litecoin was last halved in August 2023, when it dropped from 12.5 to 6.25 LTC. This event is anticipated to happen again in the summer of 2027. Improved Mimblewimble. One of the most significant and eagerly anticipated updates to the Litecoin network took place in 2022, the Mimblewimble update. Enhancing Litecoin transaction privacy and scalability is its main goal. Below is a summary of its main features. We begin with the enhancements to privacy. Conventional blockchains provide transaction details like sender, receiver, and amount to the public, including Litecoin, prior to the upgrade under consideration. Mimblewimble uses cryptographic methods like CoinJoin to hide these facts. This method makes it challenging to track the source and destination of individual funds by combining several transactions into one group. Furthermore, the transferred amount is now only visible to the parties involved in the transaction. This update has enhanced the scalability. There are limits to the amount of data that blockchains can hold. Extension blocks are used by Mimblewimble in addition to Litecoin's primary blockchain. By storing private transaction data, these extension blocks help to reduce the overall volume of data kept on the main chain and may even speed up transaction processing. There are several factors to think about. There is a feature selection option. The Mimblewimble feature is optional for Litecoin users in contrast to Bitcoin. Transactions can be conducted confidentially via Mimblewimble or publicly on the main chain. It is also important for you to know that there are legal concerns. Financial privacy is regulated in some nations. Because of Mimblewimble's privacy characteristics, some exchanges have decided to delist Litecoin because of the possible difficulties in adhering to widely recognized legal requirements. All things considered, Mimblewimble is a big improvement for Litecoin, giving users more control over transaction privacy and maybe increasing network performance. In summary, in conclusion, Litecoin is an intriguing substitute for Bitcoin, including quicker transactions, less fees, and a greater coin supply. Its primary function now is speedy payment, and the project is a vibrant participant in the digital financial scene because to its ease of use and ongoing advancements. Nevertheless, the question at hand is whether all of Bitcoin's imitators, like Litecoin in this instance, will endure over time if the ecosystem for the cryptocurrency keeps developing successfully and the most important problems are resolved.